All right, let's have some fun. My desktop is a war zone yet again after I cleaned it all from NASCAR Classic because there's more happening. Because now we're doing NASCAR Racing 2, the 1996 version. We're probably still a week away from that. It's going to be a really easy quote-unquote install. But I'm going to give you a sneak peek on what else is going on here. The community, Warpex, Matt, shout out to them. They found, we're going to experiment with this one. There's an AIDMG, which I guess is AI damage. And you can put how many laps roughly. I'm experimenting. This is the first time I've done this. I was reading about what they were doing. I saw the test they did. So now I'm going to do one. We're going to run in Atlanta. And we're going to set this to 0-4. Which, in theory, this will give us an incident every 4 laps. And let's see. AI damage. Nope. Okay. A lot of fun. We're having a lot of fun in here. But let's go find this. Should have had this prepared for you, but damn it. Oh, AI damage 0 to 200. That means random accidents will occur between 0 and 200 laps after the last incident. So the lower the number, the more incidents you're going to have. Most tracks don't have this line by default, so you'll have to add it. So that was me just typing into the track line, AI damage 0 to 4, okay? And so we were experimenting. So you're saying I'll have an incident every 10 laps? He said, yep. I'll test that in a few minutes. That was a few days ago. I got distracted. And yeah. Mechanical failures are incidents too. So what we're going to do, we have this 96 Atlanta here. And I'm going to make a copy of this. I'm going to set this on my desktop just as a straggler. So I remember to put this back in here for Matt. I'm not going to get into it. Anyway, AI damage. Let's go down here. And we're going to do AI DMG 0-4. And we're going to go to Atlanta. And every 4 laps, but we're going to see. Maybe it has to wait for the first incident, and then it starts the every 4 laps incident. I don't know. Or maybe it just counts the beginning of the race as 0, and then within the first 4 laps we get one. I don't know. That's why we're doing this. Do I have everything set up here? I think all I have to do is start her up. And you're going to see this looks different. This is the NASCAR 2 build that's going on right now. And this is the only screen right now that works, quote unquote. The other ones are going to be distorted. I've been experimenting, and this is going to be a whole separate video. I've learned palettes, how the palettes work. I sat down, took a couple days, and figured this out. I figured out how to get decent-looking pictures. You can make them look really good, but it takes time for each one. I'll eventually explain that. But that looks. You don't look at that and you're like, "What is this bullshit?" You know, you're just like, "Oh, okay, hey, that looks like a computer image from the '90s." So that's what we want. So what we have the 1999 Busch Grand National set in here right now, which is I guess that's what we'll use as our test. Opponent strength. We'll set this up to 101, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to start this. Oh, we got to go to Atlanta, idiot. What I'm going to do is go to Atlanta, and we'll turn cautions off. Everything's so distorted here. We'll turn cautions off. But I'm trying to make sure I got everything else here. Driving mode, realistic. Yeah. I want to turn damage. I'm going to turn damage off. So if I get caught in a wreck or something, we can still keep our experiment going. And I'm going to hang out near the back of the pack. Oh. I got to remember to No, that's no big deal. I got to put my wheel on my desk, and I probably have to calibrate my wheel too, because this is a completely different build that I haven't even driven in yet. Just hang on a second. Man. All right. Ooh. So I don't think yellows were on. No, we're just going to race here.
Green flag, green flag, green flag.
I got to put my headphones on. Turn this down. And I got to turn this way down. So you can probably hear like a throaty version of the engines. This is actually an outdated version of this sound pack. 12th Quotient, a user, made this sound pack, and I'm not really giving him the proper demonstration of the sound pack because he improved it since I loaded this one in to test it. But you can find that on the site. So what we're doing right now, we're just hanging out. I don't have my... There you go. So right now, we're just hanging out for maybe 2, 3, 4 laps. I'm waiting to see if we get a caution of some kind or an incident, which might be a mechanical failure. I don't know what it's going to be, so that's why we're just testing it. Oh, there we go. Look at this already. Stay out of my way, fellas. All right, so that's one incident, lap 3. Now, the thing is, without that line in the track file, we really don't know what the default number is that the game uses, you know? And I ran that NASCAR Racing 2 season, which is the same build, same everything. Pretty much. And I didn't find anything weird about that. I mean, we had some wrecks. We had some races that didn't have wrecks. So, I mean, without really knowing what the game uses as its random number to begin with, it's cool to have this in your back pocket if you want wrecks. If you want more wrecks or something, but I don't know. It's still awesome. It's still an awesome little trick here. So this is me just testing her out. So what that happened? That happened on lap 3. So we should be getting a quote-unquote incident here in the next couple laps. I wish I was closer to the pack because there might be a wreck that doesn't get called out. I've noticed that. I've come across that a few times. But I wanted to set the difficulty to where I could just hang out behind them. But I'm really... Slow car ahead. That's probably from the wreck. So that happened on lap 3. So hopefully... in the next lap or so, give or take, we should have an incident of some kind. Which I may have screwed myself in this testing by having them so far ahead of me. But yeah, this NASCAR 2 build is basically going to be... It's all the NASCAR Racing 2 tracks. So it has like a mid-90s, early 90s feel to it compared to the NASCAR Classic tracks that have closer to the turn of the century. We got trouble on the backstretch. That was what, 5 laps? Depends on how the game counts it. Make up your mind. So depending how the game counts, you know, the exact lap or whatever, we've had, I mean, we've set that up to an incident every 4 laps, 0 to 4. And it'll just pick a random number, I'm guessing. Now we got another wreck on the backstretch. See? So now you can see the chaos that this has brought, that 0 to 4 has brought chaos. And we're going to hang out for, let's see if we can get one more before lap 15. So, Warpex was doing some testing with just accelerated time things, and you can see just the chaos in the standings page, but it's cool kind of seeing this in real world happening. Or in, yeah, you know what I mean. So yeah, this NASCAR 2 build is basically going to be using these mid to early 90s look of tracks, and we'll have everything's going to be set up. I mean, I have a really good firm handle on the pallets because we were going to make this like a 1996 season kind of thing, but I'm thinking if I just put my head down for a couple days, this can have all of the 90s calendars in it. Won't take that long now that I know the palette situation. And these 2 games, Classic and NASCAR Racing 2, will cover the entire 90s. We just have to fill out some car sets on the page, and I've kind of been aiming the page and everything toward just all the 90s, like my favorite era of NASCAR. And we got these 2 cool sims from the 90s, and you can just run in the night. It's just, I think it's just perfect. We just need to fill out a couple of car sets. We have 94. We have a good 91. I think someone's working on a good 92 set right now. And my 94 set that I made, I can easily move to 93 and 95 with that and just have, you know, just a handful of cars to repaint in each season. Wouldn't take that long, but I'm just focused on this stuff right now. And there's definitely a ceiling to what we can do. Not what we can do, but I mean, other than some track conversions, I mean, there's no, hey, build a track and as I said, we're kind of just sticking with the 90s. That's my aim, at least. And eventually we'll hit the ceiling here. But this will set up. This will, you know, set you up for any racing you want to do in the 90s. It's just perfect, I think. Just a couple more weeks. Probably by the end of February, look out. Because I figured out the pallet situation, I'm going to be able to MIP all of the tracks into Winston Cup signage, and it'll be a quick, you know, unzip the DAT files to each track. Here we go. That was a few. I'm going up top. Get out of here. Accident turn 2. So we had that one that just happened, and then we had another one that came. So you can see what AI damage, what this line does. It can really result in some wildness, which is cool for an experiment's purposes. But in my racing that one season I recently did with Ricky Rudd, I wasn't left wanting for cautions or wanting for wrecks or incidents, you know? Like, I think the default stuff is pretty good, but this is, again, something good to have in your back pocket for whatever reason. But yeah, I'm starting with, I'll be MIPing all these tracks. By the end of February, like I said, this might be looking pretty wild. there's some sick cockpits being made by people, and we're still tracking down some truck sets and car sets and everything. But that's going to be it here. So that AI damage line works. It's probably too much of a headache to go find the all the wrecks and everything. Save wrecks, exit. No. I guess I could kind of explain the pallet situation here. I mean, I'm going to go to Watkins Glen, so this will work. There you go. The back, the back screen. This back screen. Okay, the best way to explain it is everything you see in the game right now, they have to share the same 256 colors, a 256 color palette. They have to share it. You have more than 256 colors, you get the distortion. So this logo, this Mark Martin picture, this Watkins Glen logo, and this Bud at the Glen event logo, they have to use the same palette as the background. Not necessarily the same palette, but they have to share the same colors, is a better way to put it. Okay? So, and there's also colors for the events and everything. Well, I'll eventually explain it for people that really kind of want to. It'll be like a 45-minute video about garbage. for maybe 10 people will care. I know I'm probably the only person on this earth that is doing this right now, that just learned palettes, antiquated graphics from 30 years ago. But hey, we had to do it. But in the palette are specific color. Every color you see on here is in the palette. All these little things, there's no gradients. These are all pixels, and they're all in the palette. And I'll get into it in another video. But I did just do this championship screen that looks good. Added the Winston Cup Series logo to the trophy. Could probably rotate that a little bit more. And I got to fix the Winston Cup. Move that over a little bit to the right. But hell yeah, man. We'll start, and this is going to look like a disaster, as expected. Uh-oh. I just noticed this popping up did that. I wonder why it's doing that. Uh-oh. But these work. All these colors, like the mouse over colors, these are all pixels. They're not gradients. Quick race. And then we go to... Okay, back real quick. For example, this championship season, I just hit start and I hit yes. What I'll have to do is go into the palette that's being used for everything. I'm just using the same palette for everything. I'll have to go into that palette. I'll take a screenshot of this screen, and then I'll put my mouse here, and then what I'll have to do is take a screenshot of this screen, put it into a program, and I drop those colors and find where they are in the palette, because there's some specific squares in the palette that the game uses for certain things, like these menu colors, for example. And I'll get into that in another video. But that's where I'm at now. Things looking good. And again, everything's going to be looking unbelievable by the end of February, I'd say. But within the next less than a week, this NASCAR 2 will be ready to roll for people. So, all right. Thanks for watching.